Granblue Fantasy Relink continues to impress, and the devs seem to be doing right by the player base. We got awesome updates and future free, yes, free content coming our way, endgame raids, and so much more, especially information on how you guys can actually access this game even earlier before it launches, ahead of its February 1st release date. I have plans to continue to make content on this game, so hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can help raise that 38% even higher. Let's try to get it to 50%, guys. We did a very early Narmaya guide, and also I've been asked about how to complete or S++ the Rock Golem quest. I've actually got both of those videos up right now. Feel free to check them out if you guys haven't yet. And now with that being said, let's get into the video. We briefly in previous videos talked about the Relink stream the devs did the other day because we were so invested with consuming the demo, you know. Now we can talk about all the goodies that they plan to drop, free updates after launch, and starting in March, we're getting a crazy raid boss, Lucilius, who is also voiced by Cloud Strife's Japanese voice actor. It's not a very important detail, but I personally love it. Lucilius is going to be pushing people to their limits. I read some comments from mobile players of Granblue who stated that surviving Lucilius's opening attack in the mobile game is actually an accomplishment in itself. So this introduction to this fight is very spot on with what the devs are showing us here. The entire party gets wiped within seconds right after his intro just transitions into gameplay. Pretty damn hilarious. Man's gonna force each run to get good or burn a revive pot very early. The devs also continue to assure us that this is not a live service game. This is an all-in-one package from the jump on release. After the Lucilius update, we have two other characters that are coming in April, Zeovan and Twayan. I actually had to look up a video on how to pronounce that, I'm not gonna lie. And I still don't think I said it right. By the time we max out all the current characters, do all the endgame content, and even learn the Lucilius fight, I think April will be here before we know it, and those characters will be out and ready for us to access and play. There's also one more update coming in May, but they can't reveal what it is just yet. And as long as the support is there for the game, there seems to be plans to continue to keep on updating and adding more content to the game, which I cannot wait to consume all of it, especially with the fact that these are free updates. That is amazing, guys. Of course, I'm going to master Narmaya first, but there are so many great characters in addition to her. This game will definitely keep me occupied in the coming months, and I'll be playing with you guys on stream as well. The showcase has some demonstrations of new locations and roaming around, as well as a level 100 endgame fight with a green dragon that just looks really intense. In the demo, we have barely scratched the surface of this game. I mean, obviously it is a demo, and only being at level 10, having limited items and equipment, things will only get crazier as it's evident in the gameplay here. Level 120 enemies do not plan to be pushovers for us. I mean, there's a damn timer on the top right. If you see, it says you need to defeat this boss within 1 hour in order to get one of the S++ achievements towards it. I'm up for the challenge. I mean, there's even crazy raid mechanics you can see them doing here to mitigate attacks for everyone else. To just focus damage on one player by standing in the middle, which is going to be interesting to see just how much more they have in store for us when it comes to the launch. And guys, pre-ordering the game does have some great bonuses too. I personally will be getting the standard edition because, I mean, if you can scroll down here on this website, you can view the differences between the editions. You're not really missing out on much. I mean, I don't really personally care for the Proto Bahamut statue figure, which you get if you do the special edition or the digital deluxe edition. Also the case for Steam. However, Steam players, looks like you're getting kind of shafted here. Not much going on right here, and no crossplay on launch at least, which is a big bummer. Standard edition also gets the Eos Blade and Metal Charm, as well as the other two editions too. And the only other thing that you don't get is the luxury specially designed box, which again, I personally don't really care for that. There's also a key down here on the bottom left. If you look really close, I actually almost missed this right here. It says you gotta look at the asterisk and 1. So the special edition, the PS4 and PS5 one, comes with the character color packs included with the special edition are Color Pack 2 and Color Pack 3. And there's a number 2, which I'm not seeing on any of these right here. This benefit will be included if you pre-order by January 31st. Okay, so that isn't one there, but they're just saying that you need to do this. If you want this stuff, you need to make sure that you get this order in before or at least by January 31st. But in my opinion, the best thing about all this, I mean, I'm getting the standard edition, of course. If you pre-order any of them at all, if you pre-order any of them, you actually can get some great bonuses. You can get Stamina 3 and Enmity 3. You get those at launch and you can use them very early on. And not only that, you also get early access to the game. So instead of waiting until late January 31st or February 1st, depending on your time zone, you actually can start to play the game on January 28th around 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is about 3 or 4 days earlier, depending on your time zone and where you're located, of course. If you want that early jump, feel free to pre-order the game. And that comes for the standard edition as well, guys. I mean, it says as much down here. And also pre-ordering as well gets you a Granblue special item set relink pack. So if you scroll down here, you can actually see you get a skin for Gran and you get a skin for Jita. And actually looks pretty cool. I like this design a lot. You actually see this in the gameplay footage. The devs are showing on the stream. They're actually running around and playing as those characters. I do hope in the future, I mean, this is pretty evident in itself right here. It does say players. It's a single player game, but also you can do like 1 to 4 players online. We've seen that. That's evident already in the demo. I was kind of hoping that eventually later on we could see 10-man raids or like 8-man parties and stuff, but I guess that doesn't seem to be within their plans, at least within the first year. So fingers crossed that's something that they eventually do, because I think that would be really fun to and a lot of chaos as well. But of course that also requires them to rework certain mechanics and ensure that it functions properly, right? In this random fight right here, you can actually see they level up on the bottom left, which I hadn't seen yet, and I honestly can't wait to see that occur a bunch of times. But they talk about how they earn some MSP points and that they need to go into their skill tree to level it up. Now you know this game originally was a gacha, like a mobile gacha. So having a skill tree isn't something that I didn't expect, but it's interesting to see, or just to anticipate, how much deeper this can get. I wonder if sigils, which are the new passive like skills and stats you can implement into the game, into the characters per character basis, depending on which one you're going for. Like this one obviously is increasing their attack by 5. Over here too, they do have a mini game that you can participate in, and apparently these are like scattered all across the different like maps, different zones and stuff that you can access. But when you complete them, you get different rewards, and I think this one in particular gives them a sigil, Tyranny. But they also mentioned briefly that eventually you could actually equip more than the default amount of sigils, which will be really cool for like maximizing builds and changing the way characters like play. As you can see right there, it says they got Tyranny sigil. Sigils are equipable items. You got all these different ones. These are all level 2s. I see on the right it says level 4, which is interesting, even though it says 3 on the left. So you can actually level up a level 3 sigil, right? Like it'll be the 3rd tier. Okay, tier 3, but you can actually boost the levels of it up to 30. God damn. I wonder how grindy that's going to be, if it'll be grindy or anything. That should be for callback for the people in mobile games. They have a lot of sigils to choose from, which is good. Give all the possible combinations you can create. Yeah, that's what kind of like drew me in initially, to be honest. As you progress through the game, you unlock more slots for equipping sigils. Yes, that's going to be big. That's going to be huge, and actually something that might extend the life of the game, because a lot of characters will be able to tackle certain fights, and characters that weren't able to really handle certain fights or due to like specific mechanics of it, you could probably adjust that based off of like the type of sigils you could find, like giving a character more stun or having them affect the bosses more like debuff wise in that way. It's gonna be pretty cool to see just how far you can take things. Now when Granblue Fantasy Relink eventually drops, I want to know from you guys right now in the comments below, who are you trying to master first? I mean, Narmaya is definitely gonna be one of the most played characters, but I don't care, bro. She got swag. That katana style is nasty, and the combos that she can pull off are super fun too. I'm seeing a lot of positives when it comes to Charlotta, Siegfried, and Lancelot as well. And of course, Zeta is still like ridiculous when it comes to damage. But if you've been playing anybody else, please comment below what is your favorite thing about them and what have you been enjoying the most. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Granblue Fantasy Relink videos are on the way and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.